And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Pagel Activity Center. Hockey night in Minnesota, high school hockey night, that is, to each and every one of us. Thanks for joining us with the Minnetonka Skippers. We have the opening skate with the skipper flag, the spotlight dialed in, along with Bart Archer. I'm Pete Wagner, camera operator Todd Grover. Two big games on deck tonight. We've got Edina and Buffalo going at it from Braebar Arena as we speak on senior night. And then right here we have the Skippers and the Eden Prairie Eagles renewing acquaintances from a game they played out earlier in the year at the Eden Prairie Community Center. And this is game 2 now of their series, of their set, if you will. Boy, when those lights come on, that is pretty distinct, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of changes the complexion of things a little bit, but it gets your attention. But I like the ambience. I like the spotlight. It brings a nice vibe.
Yeah, they certainly do it well. Tonight's coverage presented by my good guy, my good friend, Chris Bonvino at Gemini Athletic Wear. Check them out at GeminiAthletic.com. They take care of all of the champions in their sweaters, high school hockey, college, junior, youth, including apparel. By the way, we did their apparel for the NIDA hockey tournaments, for the youth tournaments part, and we did quite well.
Yeah.
It's a good product.
Doesn't surprise me.
So I would suggest if you're running tournaments, they can take care of you. Get the online store rocking. Life is good. So, Bart, what do you think here tonight?
Well, I think a couple teams have a couple things to prove tonight. I think Montreal. Right, it snuck out.
The Leafs?
But Minnetonka, boy, they gave up 5 goals against Lakeville North, so I'm sure they're eager to get back out on the ice and kind of make amends to that. They were the better team for really 2 periods, but Lakeville North flexed their offensive muscles, and it just seemed like Minnetonka kind of lost their way. I think they're going to have to play a very sound game for the full 17 minutes each period, but Eden Prairie just keep the good mojo going. You know, they get a 4 or 5 game win streak, and then they drop a couple. They want to get out of that trend, and tonight they can continue their winning streak.
John Middlestad is your starting center here for the Eden Prairie Eagles. He'll be joined on the left wing by Ben Steves. These guys are very prolific, Bart.
Yeah, indeed. I think Minnetonka's going to have their hands full.
And the right wing will be Jackson Blake. This team has taken a bit of a different complexion. I'd say it's significant since he's hit the roster because now their depth just trickles down into lines 2 and lines 3. It's
going to be hard to get ice time now for the other guys, but Blake's 2 goals, both of them are game winners.
Their ability to transition has allowed a guy like Luke Middlestad the opportunity to transition effectively, and he's joined by the physical Cam Langfells on the back line. And Axel Rosenlund will be the starting goaltender tonight. He's been busy this year, Bart.
Well, indeed he has. 9-3-1, 2.34 goals against with a 912 save percentage, a couple shutouts.
Eagles enter this one at 16-4-1. And now we'll take a look at the Skippers, who are an even 11-11 on the season. And again, coming off that 6-2 loss, 2 empty netters to the hands of the Lakeville North Panthers, who Bart, I felt were run off the ice for the first 10 to 12 minutes of the period.
Correct. But they hung
first period. They
hung
didn't go away, and they battled, and they did what they had to do. Braden Lacombe is a very steady center. He'll start up front for this Skipper team. He's going to be joined along the way by Tyler Keppers on the left wing, and right wing rather. Teddy Lagerback will be your left winger.
Wow, that's a pretty good answer to Eden Prairie's top line. There's certainly some talent and some grit on this Minnetonka front 3.
James Miller will be one of the defensemen.
Going to be busy tonight.
Duke Kiven will be the other defenseman.
Nice
and
tandem.
Starting. I'm sorry?
I said nice tandem. I'm sorry to talk over you.
Really
I'm
good
excited.
tandem.
I'm fired up.
I know. I can feel it. It's just oozing from every pore.
And Brandon Chance in goal.
He starts in goal, 2 Bart Archer. The rest of the Minnetonka Skippers led by Sean Goldsworth. The Eagles by Lee Smith. We'll pause now for your national anthem. Wow, we got Tim Mahoney. There it is. Former Skipper alumni Tim Mahoney got the stick taps from the Eagles as well.
Well, I think
all
everybody
over
got a little fired up. He put a lot of effort into that. That was a little different.
Boy, he made Kate Smith blush in the Spectrum of Philadelphia.
Wow.
Remember that?
Oh, indeed.
That's on YouTube. You should check it out. Those are something, isn't it?
That was such a tradition for so very long.
There was something, it's weird. There's something about that just instantly tied it into the Broad Street Bullies and Dave the Hammer Schultz and Rick McLeish, Reggie Leach, Bobby Clark. I mean, my word.
Billy Barber.
DuPont.
Yeah.
Bernie Perrant.
Big Bill Daly.
Who?
He's a defenseman.
I'm joking.
Ed Van Imp. Gary Dornhofer.
Wow, while you're at
way
it.
Back.
Billy Clement.
Oh, yeah, he was all right.
Pre-Atlanta Flame era.
He was all right.
I just had to throw out the greatest,
I liked it.
The greatest color commentator on earth next to you.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I hope you're not call Uber on
I still argue
home.
that Bill Clement and Gary Thorne are the best tandem.
Oh, they were great.
I mean,
Gary Thorne is a good guy too. I mean, he came to visit us at the state tournament that one year. Didn't have to. Just knocked on the door and walked in, and we had a conversation.
I'll
for
take
5,
a little
10
bit
minutes.
of credit for that. I got there early that weekend and helped him through pronunciations up and down the rosters. We talked about where these clubs are at, how they played, and
you helped him out, a little scouting.
Well, it was great. And then he'd come in and he'd go, I'm going to come in where the working men are here, because he gets off every period.
That
was great.
That.
Yeah,
Wags
he
with
came
the
every
apple.
period.
Wags with the apple. Gives him an assist. And then Melrose came, and he was just a buffoon.
Wow.
Well, he just alienated himself.
Well, he
everybody.
didn't want to be bothered by the minions.
Yeah,
we're all rubes, and
yeah.
That's whatever. I got fired at about a day at Tampa.
Here we go.
Here's Lacombe with it. Back at center ice. And offside at the line just to start this hockey game.
Oh, Teddy Lagerrock, he's got the hammer cocked back and ready to fire some pucks. I think we're going to say Lagerbach's name quite a bit. They're going to rely on him really to provide some offense, but Prairie's going to have to be cognizant of the fact he'll shoot from anywhere.
Lagerbach was having words with Steves, who was all smiles, so we'll watch for that development. Langfell's up for Blake, leaves up for John Middlestad. He sees he's going to take this one across the line as he's jammed by Lagerbach. Now it's Kiffin. Steves tries to angle a puck out of the end boards there. Blake with it now. Jackson Blake looks and plays this one. That's off the skate of Middlestad. Now it's going to be handled by Miller. He's turned away. Miller bumps off the end boards for Kiffin, who looks up ice and finds Miller. To the right wing side for Keppers. He's got to ring the boards hard for Lagerbach as he on comes for Langfells. Langfells absorbs a check, plays that back in behind for Steves, the left wing, deep in the corner there. Chips that one off the glove of Middlestad at the neutral zone. Now it's going to be Lagerbach with it. Newhouse takes over across the line. Langfells with a stick on that. Lagerbach. Steves gathers in. Looks over to the right wing side. Off the boards for Blake. Knocked off the stick of Zitzloff. That hit Blake on its way in. And the Eagles control back deep in their own zone. Middlestad with it so far. This is the same exact looking start that the Skippers had.
Yep.
Really, with offensive zone time angles and moving players. Luloff will take this puck. He can scoot. Here he goes up the left wing side. Holds it to the backhand. Nice save by Shantz. Robbing Zuloff on the breakaway as he created that with his own feet. Back off the corner it goes. Conan with a heavy check. Now Zitzloff leaves off to the left wing. Henry plays it. These are a couple of Section 2AA combatants. Pretty good shot. They're probably going to see each other at some juncture of the upcoming Section 2AA playoff. Into the skipper zone it goes for an icing call. We'll bring this one down into Eden Prairie turf.
Well, you are correct. In fact, Minnetonka had mimics their start against Lakeville North, and then it was Eden Prairie that came down. It was Luloff that showed some pretty good speed, got in tight on Shantz, tried to open him up, but Shantz with a confidence-building save early in this first period. Face-off all the way down in Eden Prairie zone to Rosenlund's left.
Boy, pretty quick on the changes there. They didn't give the Eagles much time, and they're going to have to stick with this line. Batchelder the draw for Busby. Langenbrenner plays that around. They got the forwards out, I believe, or the D out. Back up through center ice it goes on the rolling puck. Icing now. We'll see if the Eagles match them up. Here they come. We're going to have Bergandy, Stansberry, and Riku Brown joining the mix as they're going to square off against the Skippers' front line of Harris, Quinn, and Worms.
Wow, and then they just turned back, and now it's going to be Middlestad, Steves, and Blake again. So some positioning going on by both coaches.
And then while they did that, out comes Miller and Kiffin. The game within the game.
That's right.
This is like bringing in the lefty and righty relievers.
Going to the pen.
Oh, God, here we go. Now it's going to be Quinn with it. the human rain delays. Quinn with a wrister. That up off the netting.
That's one of my biggest problems with baseball is when they bring in the reliever and let him throw about 20 pitches.
Well, I mean.
Well, you got to let him get a feel.
What do you want him just to come in ice cold and
I'm good with that.
Go Brewster Graterol holding up deals because he's got a bad wing?
I think the Twins actually pulled themselves out of that deal.
Really?
I read that today, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's great.
Could be fake news.
Well, isn't everything? Back in behind the net now. It's going to be Harris with it. He's watched by John Middlestat. Back into the corner it goes. Luke Middlestat now shovels that one ahead. Nice job by Quinn to turn that one up. He plays that in deep. Off the corner, Casey was there. John Middlestat to Steves. Too far for Blake. It's going to be Miller to take over up high at his own line. He'll backpedal into the left circle. Nifty escape over to the right side off the boards. Bounding puck with a sure stick of John Middlestat there. Keeps it alive. Played that one with a high stick. The Skippers get it. Ooh, they give him a freebie there off the boards and icing the call.
Well, and I think they needed a line change as it stands anyway, but they did a good job of keeping the Middlestat line in the Eden Prairie zone. Really not a big threat. So the angles are really nice as far as Minnetonka getting on the defenseman in a hurry. It was Liam Worms that really put some pressure on. So Eden Prairie going to be a little uncomfortable. They have to be a little more efficient in their own zone, but Minnetonka came to play tonight.
Lagerback and Batchelder in the face-off circle. Lagerback gets it back to Zitzlaff. Conan for Lacombe. Lagerback tried to push to center. Casey's there to play back in. They're offside on the play. Delayed. Now Luke Middlestat chips off the glass. Luloff stopped by Zitzlaff. It's going to be Conan with it, who plays this one down the right wing wall off the stick of Lagerback. Gets it back from Keppers. Pad save Rosenlund over to the near boards. There's a slapper by Lacombe. I know a lot of the Section 2AA is watching this one closely. You know what's going to happen in those seedings when you have Prior Lake looking at, they beat Eden Prairie head-to-head in a one-goal contest, but, you look at this, how is this going to work itself out? Still plenty of time to go here. Batchelder, what I mean by that is all these games take different looks. But I don't think the seeds really matter. I get to the point of everybody just shut up and play.
Just play.
You got to beat everybody, right, so who cares when you play them? Just do it. And if you're worried about playing easy games, this is me as a coach talking here for 2 seconds, you're in trouble.
Right on.
Lacombe has it as he turns around. Wrister blocked. That one's off the gear there of the defense of Britain. And now it's Luloff back in on goal. Gloved and held on to by Shantz. And now it's going to be Anderson. Sends a long pass ahead. Found Henry across the line. Straddled it. Then that's knocked back to center as Bear is going to play that off the boards. But Brown will come through center. Couldn't slice through. Or as my guy Mike Emmerich would say, knife through the defense in the neutral zone. Anderson now for Henry. Henry plays this one up to the left wing side as he's going to be wedged. Pergandy was there defensively. Britton out of the corner as it's knocked behind by Streeter. Henry comes away with it. He had Miller down the line, and Pergandy is there as he plays this to center, looking for Stansberry. Stays on it and tucks it back in behind the Skipper goal. Kiffin and Brown get there. Brown with a big reach comes away with it. Plays it to an open corner, and it's going to be picked up by Miller off the glass. That's off the glove of Henry. Newhouse plays that behind. Now he tries to work through Langfels, who stands him up, but Henry will help as the puck trickles into the corner. That's off Blake, and now it's going to be Middlestat. That's Luke to play that one up the right wing side. Now John Middlestat works this one across the line. Knocked away from him by Miller. Wedged to the corner. And now it's going to be Steves up for Langfels, over for Luke Middlestat. Rolling puck. That hopped the stick because it was moving all over the place of brother John. Now Steves with it behind the net, watched by Kiffin. Up the right wing boards. Worms is going to play this one ahead for Quinn. It's Langfels watching him wide. Quinn with a wrister. That trickles up off the netting and out of play. I think the net should be in play. That's my thing.
Well,
I know, but I'm just saying.
I don't disagree.
Let's play volleyball. Come on.
We saw it during
Off
the
the
Beauty
ceiling.
League. Obviously not a good litmus test.
Oh, it was
for
great.
It was. Fabulous.
Then they took it out.
And I actually like it when they had a penalty shot and the play would continue, where they could chase him into the zone.
Yeah, it's like 3-on-3 hockey. At hat-trick hockey.
I like that.
Exactly. Or velocity. Or Ponds of Rosemont. I don't want to leave anybody out. Conan back. There's one up at Maple Grove, too. I think it's called Maple Grove 303.
A wealth of information.
I don't know. Just wow. I was looking at our schedule. It's really lean coming down to the end here. We've got Eden Prairie and Benilde St. Margaret's on Tuesday. How about that affair? just like this one, very tense.
Is that at Eden Prairie or BSM?
BSM.
Okay, so we're going to the Rock. Looking forward to that one. But this has been a good game so far. Really, not a lot of opportunities for the goaltenders to get involved, but that's just solid defensive play by both teams.
It's got some pace to it, too.
It has.
Urgency is what I would say.
I like it.
Nice crowd assembling here at the Activity Center.
That's as good a crowd as
we've seen
in a long time.
I say one of our best ones of the year. Miller, I'm not saying they're front runners, but that one deflects off the pad.
The contenders.
It's packed here last year is what I'm getting to.
Yep.
Student section engaged. Blake now from the left wing side. Watched by Kiffin. Puck back into the corner. Miller plays this around for Keppers, who waits on it as Steves comes over to bother him. Now it's played back over. That's Blake for John Middlestack. Gets away. Nice job from Miller. Fed over to the left wing side for Blake as he's going to take it from the corner. Back for Steves. He had John Middlestadt lurking up high in the slot. Langfells back over to the far side for Busby across the line. He's going to shovel in wide of the mark. Ooh. Shantz turns that paddle over. You never know where that thing's going to go.
Your heart skipped a beat.
It does. The goalie coach comes out. Icing the call. 10:06 to go here in the first frame.
Well, Busby was carrying the puck, and I went to the Spencer Rudrud back again. So kind of harkening back to yesteryear, but I love the Eden Prairie jerseys. I know I should be talking about the game, but the Eden Prairie sweaters are fabulous.
Hey, the sweaters are part of the game, man.
They're really nice.
They got the big eagle with the open wings.
Might be one of my favorites.
Well, I mean, this is a club that comes with a new look all the time. You know what? And credit Chris Bonvino.
Yep.
Left wing side it goes. Gemini Athletic Wear, of course, we're talking about. Langfell's back in behind the net. Jammed on the play by Streeter. That's off Newhouse stick. Now Casey plays over for Brown up to center. Stansberry. Nice jump. He'll be watched by another number 4 in Anderson. That one wide of the mark. Over to the near boards it goes. Pergandy gets there first. Backs that one into the corner. Anderson takes over. Outlets to Streeter on the move. Streeter now left wing side for Henry. Casey will take over now from the left wing side. Goes D-to-D for Langfells up to Brown. Hops his stick. Conan goes straight to the links and chops that one into the corner. Newhouse back in behind the net. Wedged off by Casey. Looked ahead for Stansberry. Left wing side. Luloff. Watched by Conan. Whoa! What a big check there. And we're going to have a penalty there. Holy smokes.
Well, Conan brings the physical part of the game. Got a little aggressive on Luloff, so he's going to spend some time in the box. It's just a question of what they're going to call him for, but Eden Prairie going to get a chance in the power play. But that was a big check. Luloff doesn't look any worse.
That looks like a board to me.
Yeah. But Eden Prairie hovering around the 24%.
They're debating whether they're tacking extra minutes on here right now.
Whenever they get together and have a conversation in front of the official scorer's booth, generally it is about the proper call in this one. Skippers have a challenge in front of them.
They're going to go 2, I bet.
Well, Conan plays aggressive, but he's certainly not malicious in any way, shape, or form.
Linesman comes in now. Oh, they need one more. 2 and 10. Or are they going to go 5? Ooh, the board smacking. They're going 5. James Miller now having a discussion, getting the breakdown.
And then he's going to go talk to goalie, and then the ref's going to come over and interrupt him.
Kiffin having a discussion. We're waiting on who's serving.
There he goes.
I hate to harken back to the dark days of high school hockey, but in 2012, that would have been a 5 for sure.
Yep.
Things have changed.
No
It's
discussion.
kind of loosened up a little bit. Yeah, nobody thought twice about it, but, obviously it's kind of worked its way back to what are you talking about? Game's gotten so much cleaner, though.
Yeah. Well, you just hope this 5-minute major doesn't define this game, but obviously Minnetonka's got an uphill to climb right now, and it's against a very good Eden Prairie team.
We still haven't gotten the guy that's serving yet. He said, give me a guy. He said, hey, Captain, give me a guy or I'll take you.
Lagerbach to make the Teddy, who do you want to put in there?
So 9:08 remains in the period. I can't see on the clock. Is that the flag's in the way?
No, it is a 5-minute.
Oh, it's
on
a
the
major?
board. Yep.
Okay. Well, then that puts the power play for the Eagles in force with a 24% efficiency. This is a big part of the game right here, folks.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't define the game, but a great opportunity it is for Eden Prairie, but Minnetonka's got to get through this, pick up their teammate.
Face-off win by the Eagles. Luke Middlestad takes it from Steves, who will man up on the left side. That's too far for John Middlestad off the glass. Luke Middlestad keeps it alive with his skate. Lacombe wins the battle at the line. Nice job there. Now it's going to be Miller with it as he backpedals. That's off some gear and sent the length of the ice. That hit Blake on the way down. Steves now will leave for Luke Middlestad as he'll gather in and work this one up the ice. Here comes the junior defenseman. He's going to leave behind for Blake as he'll carry the line. Gets away from Newhouse. Anderson forces him. Zitzloff comes away with it, loses an edge. Over the near boards, John Middlestad chops at it, nearly kept it. Nice effort here by the Skippers in the early going, denying entry. John Middlestad again leaves off for Luke as he'll work this up into center across the checkered. Newhouse gets a stick. Nice job there to swat that one away. Big battle off the boards. Newhouse plays that away, but John Middlestad's going to run away with this one as he'll gather in. Brown heads to the bench. Pergandy jumps on the ice. Now Luke Middlestad off for Langenbrunner. John Middlestad up the middle looking to leave off as he gives to Blake. Blake will work it. John Middlestad to the bench. Pergandy now off for Langenbrunner. Off the ice. Now goes on the ice comes Busby. Langenbrunner down low he goes. Steve stays out up front along with Blake. Now Busby. Steves is going to head to the bench. Now it's 4-on-4. Busby's going to slice through traffic. Here comes Holt, the snapper. Nice save there. Puck's loose. And a big save made by Shantz.
Well, been a very good kill by Minnetonka so far. They've actually had a couple of clears, but it was Drew Holt that came into high in the slot area and put a pretty good offering on Shantz. Shantz held on to it. Nice job of tracking that puck through some traffic. But Eden Prairie with their best look so far on the power play. Very difficult to see the clock. As far as how much time is left, I'll try to get that information.
We're in like the worst possible spot with the banners.
Yeah.
Now Batchelder up for Busby. Langenbrunner takes over, lets a wrister go. That hits Harris. Oh, that clearing attempt by Zitzloff off the leg of Harris goes the wrong way. But Harris gathers in off the glass to center. Here comes Quinn in a foot race with Langenbrunner pressuring him. Langenbrunner puts on the brakes as he calmly looks back over to his right side now. Langenbrunner to the middle. He's going to leave that one back behind for Batchelder. Across the line he goes. They have 4 across the line. Batchelder now is going to carry behind. Looks up for Busby. Good pressure by Lacombe. They're taking away that pass to the right point. They're not letting him have any room.
Yeah, and that pass was in the skates too, so a difficult one to corral.
There's Lacombe again. Batted down. Oh, a high stick on Langenbrunner. Let's take a look at that on replay.
Well, it looked like it was kind of that gray area, but the linesman very definitive on that one. But Langenbrunner, he's kind of a long drink of water. Yeah, that might have been a little high.
No, he got it down on the waist.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Oh, that's what I saw. But, you know,
2:33 left in the major.
We're here and they're there.
I had to do a squat to get the information.
And I don't have the whistle either. Did you? How are the quads? Hammy's
feel the burn.
Back in. Oh, my word. Behind the net. Miller with it now. John Middlestad.
Oh.
Net was knocked off its post right as he moved.
Boy, and that's Steves all alone, one-on-one with Shantz, too. So a bit of fortune for Minnetonka to get that whistle at that time. Not saying the Shantz wouldn't have made that save because he was coming out to challenge, but they're starting to get in tight on this Minnetonka team on the power play.
You've got arguably the game's best goal scorer in Ben Steves, or one of the top ones, and when he has an open look, it's trouble.
Yeah, there's certainly a number of them in this game, and he's certainly in that conversation.
Up to Steves now off the draw. Blake found him. Luke Middlestad over for John Middlestad, top of the right circle. Not much room to go with it there. Now he gets back up for Luke Middlestat, over to the left side for Steves. Steves to the corner for Blake. Blake, they take away the passing lanes very well here. Luke Middlestat, wrister. This is Jack Hillen's specialty here with the Minnetonka Skippers, and he's got to be very pleased right now. John Newhouse now with a shot. Scores! Oh! A shorty there for Streeter.
Well, it was Newhouse that made that play, but it was Streeter that finished it off. Nice shot on goal. Beat the goaltender Axel Rosenlund, but it was Newhouse that was contending with Middlestat. Back on the point, it was Middlestat or Langfels, but he came out with the puck, drew the defenders in, and then dished it off on the backhand, and it was Streeter that went in, beat the goaltender, shorthanded goal. Minnetonka gets some energy off that one, and we have 1:37 left in the major penalty. Minnetonka +1.
That's just Tonka's second shot on goal here for the period. And they get it shorthanded. They've been good. Newhouse chirping the bench. He and John Middlestat saying, "What's up, brother?"
Might be a little early for that. Still got some work to do.
Pergandy offside at the line. And we'll bring this one back outside the zone.
Well, and I think it was Batchelder that snuck in just a stride early, but that's that natural challenge at the blue line. That's what Minnetonka is going to have to do. And the forwards are responsible enough to come back and cover, so really nice play by Minnetonka being a man down, forcing offside.
Langenbrunner now off the toe of his stick, checked it.
Everybody does.
It's my favorite thing. Holt with it, plays this one back into the corner. It does forsake you. Pergandy now kicks over. Batchelder for Busby. And there's Miller to chop that down the ice. Pad save, Rosenlund.
That's a pretty good save on a pretty challenging clear.
That thing had some juice and some bounce to it. Double trouble.
Now just 1 minute left on the major penalty.
Langenbrunner, now they're doing the old drop to the late man through the neutral zone. That's knocked away. What's happening, though, is you're seeing 4 Eagles kind of just standing at the line waiting. Now it's going to be Lager back with it. There's a method to the madness, I would say, and I'm not. I'm just saying what I see. Langenbrunner with it. I know Lee Smith's going to text me in about 2 minutes after he watches this one. Just curious. Batchelder with it. Back it across the line. Flips this one up off the netting. That's going to go outside as that was unguided. So the power play right now not clicking for the Eagles.
And just 24 seconds left, so it's been a good kill by Minnetonka. I think it's been a better kill than it has been a power play, obviously, for Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie's had
it's +1 for Minnetonka, so I would say.
Well, I mean, as far as possession and zone time, but they really haven't challenged Schatz but once. And the second time, actually, was a whistle for the net coming off the mooring, so Eden Prairie not very effective on this power play.
Luke Middlestat now over for Keegan Langfels. Or check that cam. I went old school. Holy smokes.
It threw me off.
Old school. Back up the right wing side. That's cleared the length of the ice as it will find its way into the corner for Luke Middlestat. Watched by Streeter.
All right.
He accelerates out of the zone. Here comes Middlestat now. 4, now 5 skippers on the ice. Jammed by Kiffin. Luke Middlestat loses the handle. Now it's going to be Newhouse cut off by Steves from the corner. Oh, that one trickled through the slot goal mouth area there. Might have caught a piece of the leg of Schatz. Now from the corner, it's Streeter with it. Back up to center ice. Luke Middlestat gives over for Langfels. Bumps off for Blake, who rolls that one into the offensive zone. Miller submarines a would-be check and gets over for Streeter.
Boy, nice exit.
Now it's going to be Newhouse with it. Newhouse back up through center. There's a rebound for Henry, who was there. And now it's going to be the Eagles playing back out of the zone. Langfels over for John Middlestat. Nice play to stay on that one. Ooh, he nearly had Steves down low, but that was Bear to make the play. Newhouse, long pass. That one just too far for Worms. He saw him at the last second there and wanted to get an angle on that. Just missed. Back into the Tonka zone we go with 3:10 to go in the period.
Well, indeed, it is going to come down to Minnetonka, but it's kind of like watching Middlestat. A very difficult man to defend, John Middlestat, as far as the center. Hunter Newhouse kind of presents those same concerns for Eden Prairie Eagles. There's a lot of quickness out of the ice and showing their wares.
Off the boards it goes for Quinn, who plays ahead for Harris. Couldn't get the handle. Stansberry takes over, gives over for Brown on the off wing. Brown stood up, right, he gets the puck. There's Zitzloff and Quinn to throw some heat. Now it's Harris up to the right wing for Worms, over for Zitzloff. through center, knocked off his stick by Brown at the line, but not out. Quinn will play off the boards as there's Worms wedged by Langenbrunner to the corner. Quinn now. Nice defensive play by Pergandy. Britton off the stick of Brown to center. Kiffin looked over to his partner, who was covered briefly by Stansberry. Now it's Harris. Try to shove that one through the traffic. That is going to be sent right back into Minnetonka's zone. Zitzloff has Lagerback over the near side. Stansberry comes down now. Off the glass to Lagerback. Up steps Luloff, but there's Graham. Batchelder plays the body. Luke Middlestat now from the corner. Lagerback on him, up to Kiffin. Kiffin from the checkered. Plays that one in off the glass. Langfels with 2 minutes remaining in the period. Will start it up off the left side of the cage. Gives over to Luloff through center ice. Luloff 3-on-2 at the line. Kiffin with a nice stick there. Breaks up that opportunity. Played over to the near side. Miller has it. Deflected up off the stick of Batchelder and played over the near side to Keppers from Lagerback. Lacombe tried to come through with that. Now it's Luke Middlestat off the boards. Too far for Holt. Touched over Streeter, the game's lone goal scorer. Plays over to Kiffin. Around to the right wing side. Streeter wedged by Luke Middlestat in the corner. Now it's going to be Batchelder to shovel along the glass to center, as it's going to be Anderson to come away with it. He looks up at the line for Streeter. Nice feed to the right wing side. Boy, the Skippers are tic-tac-toe in transition. Holt back at center. Anderson back over for Streeter. Watched by Langfels. Down the boards it goes. Luke Middlestat was there. Now it's going to be Henry behind the net. Fights off a would-be checker. Nice job on the stick there. Out of the zone they go with Blake. Feeds a pass to Steves. Back over to the left wing side. Off a stick and sent right back into the neutral zone by the Skippers as Busby plays for Langenbrunner to the near side. Langenbrunner surveys and plays over for Blake, who touches that one back into Minnetonka territory. Anderson with 40 to go in the period. Plays back to the near side for Bear. Rink-wide pass for Streeter off the stick of John Middlestat, and Streeter gets it back across the line. Watched by Busby. Here's Newhouse. Wanted to go to the office, which is the corner. Was denied. Now it's John Middlestat. Backhand flip over to the left side for Steves. Rister in on goal. There's chance to make the save with 18.7 to go. Shots on goal read 5-3 in favor of Minnetonka. So back to your early theme, Bart, early on in the game. Lots of quality play, good defensive posture, but not a lot of opportunities.
No, in fact, Eden Prairie averaging 34 shots a game, Minnetonka averaging 37. So those are obviously pretty low numbers, but both teams playing very responsible defensively. I just love the way that Minnetonka is getting out of their zone and coming through the neutral zone with some possession. You can't really do that against Eden Prairie very easily, so they are on their game. They just have to finish the period.
Steves with a nice turnaround chance there. That's turned aside. Jackson Blake up for Langenbrunner with 3. He's got to shoot it. Pad save, rebound! Puck's loose. Oh, what a close to the period there. That was dicey.
That's what I'm talking about. In fact, if we can harken back to the Lakeville North game, it was Minnetonka with a 2-goal advantage, and then it was Lakeville North that scored with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. It seemed to change the way Minnetonka felt about their game, but they're going into the locker room with a 1-goal advantage, and that scored shorthanded, and I believe that's their first shorthanded goal of the season. So really some big things happening for Minnetonka. A lot of positives going into the locker room. Eden Prairie just has to keep on keeping on, but they have to get more shots on goal, Pete.
They do need to get more shots on goal, Bart. And the one thing that comes to mind for me is when you look at this is, that was a very well-sustained, committed period for the Minnetonka Skippers.
Well, and that's been
we saw that against Lakeville North. Can they do it? They had a good second period, too, and then things kind of were taken over. I mean, that's part of the game, as you like to mention, ebbs and flows. But, I mean, that's going to be, I think, a key component here for this one.
Well, indeed it is. And I think a lot of it's, controlling or having, self-discipline. But just that you're going to get stressed out playing against the Eden Prairie team. You just can't dive too low. But carrying on the continuity from period to period has been a challenge for them. I expect them to answer the bell in the second period.
We'll take a look at that as we take a timeout. We'll be back in action in about 12 minutes here. Thanks for joining us here at the MNHockey.tv. Don't forget, Edina is squaring off with Buffalo over on our other channel as well.
break your heart to see what we pull out of here every day. We're out here 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, cleaning up the water.
Probably dump that, man.
You guys need some help?
Sure.
Yeah.
No way. JJ, what?
What's up, man? How's it going?
I don't believe it.
Good. JJ, come on.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome
Come on.
aboard, baby.
Isn't that for me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So what are you guys doing out here? What's the whole cleanup about?
Well, we're just doing the right thing. It's a kind of a thankless job. It's out of sight, out of mind. Somebody's got to do it.
What's the dream for the cleanup project?
You know, my dream is for people to think twice before they throw something out.
No problem, boys. I thought I was going to have to come over there and show you how to do it.
That's not going to smell good.
Not pleasant.
Great play, baby.
What would you do without these guys?
I would be in trouble. I don't know what I would do. These guys are everything to me.
You ever catch anything? Brackish waters up in here? I'll call it castaneted shrimp. You eat them? No. It's been a good day, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me out here. It's eye-opening to see all the trash and everything that you guys pick up.
For me, it's really not just a job. You know, it's a passion.
I appreciate you having me out. You can swing a mean net, man.
Appreciate you helping us. It was a long, hot day.
You aren't kidding. It's hot. Talk about it. Yeah. The heat's a little different than it is on the field.
Hockey continues on the MNHockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going?
Yeah, so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions with the dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees. And now in February and Valentine's Day, we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence, and so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the TRIA Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with, just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud with that. We do lead with the comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worth, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are be able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the Bagel Activity Center, where the Skippers lead the Eden Prairie Eagles by a score of 1-0. It was a shorthanded marker by Griffin Streeter from Ben Newhouse.
Hunter.
Okay, so
I'm not alone then.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm running a 58-team tournament at Prairie Arena right now. The O'Connor tournament. We got a game in Edina. We got a game here, and it's just.
You got a lot going on.
I'm tapping out, dude. I'm taking Monday off.
Are you? That'd be a rare day off for you.
We still have to do our podcast.
We'll get around to it one of these days, right?
It's ridiculous. So that was a really entertaining period. Total of 11 shots on goal between these two teams who are known to fire the biscuit. And it's been a commitment to the defensive zone for each team.
Well, and I think that's where this year is kind of trending too. Things are starting to tighten up a little bit. Not as much freedom to roam around the ice as normal, but both teams very familiar with each other. But both teams are committed to the defensive part of the game. But as you said, I mean, both teams average 10, 11 shots a period. And get half of that just means they're minding their defensive responsibilities. I think this period things are going to open up a little bit. I think even as well as Minnetonka's played in their own zone, I think Eden Prairie's going to get some opportunities to put some pressure on Brandon Chance, and Minnetonka's going to have to come up with a couple big ones. Pete, if you look at both of these teams, I did a little work, but Eden Prairie's plus 17 in the first period as far as goals for and against, plus 19 in the second, and plus 12 in the third for a plus 48 overall, where the third period's a little bit better for Minnetonka at a plus 7, but plus 6 for Minnetonka. But this is Eden Prairie's period. It's up to Minnetonka to respond and keep playing the way they're playing, very responsible defensively. Through that will come some offensive chances.
Dave Jecka in the house, the former skipper from via way of Edina as well. And we've got Ozzy kicked into high gear. We're ready to roll. Face-off pulled back into Eden Prairie territory. Luke Middlestad off the boards for the far side for Langfels. Down goes Lacombe. Kepper's on the puck. Now it's Blake up the right wing side. Blake will play ahead. That's off the skates there of Kiffin and knocked into the corner. There's a shot that's deflected. Luke Middlestad off the glove. Knocked off the boards. Now it's going to be Blake as he plays this one down the corner. Steves bothered by Keppers to the corner for John Middlestad. Now it's Lager back off the left wing side. Lacombe out of the zone. Stepping up is Miller. He'll gain the line. Now he's got Lacombe. Hops his stick. Back into the corner. Langfels. Try to shovel that one up to Blake. Back to the neutral zone it goes. Knocked in by Miller. Luke Middlestad back in behind his own net. He'll play this off the right wing. Hops the stick of Blake, but there's Steves to make the read. He'll play ahead to Blake. He tried to go through the legs of Anderson, who cut that down, and he'll take it over out of the zone with some help from Zitzlaff there off the corner. Henry gains the line with him. He's got Newhouse off the right wing side. They score! Henry with a pair. Both off transition, and it's 2-0 Skippers.
Wow, it was Jack Anderson that actually gained the puck and brought it out of his zone. Kind of looked over for some options. Didn't see anything, so he lugged the puck up, gained the zone, and just chipped it ahead to Henry. And Henry just was one-on-one with Rosalind, spread him out and put it along the ice. Now it's 2-0. That's a big goal for Minnetonka. But they were up 2-0 from Lakeville North, so they're going to have to sustain this because Eden Prairie's going to give a pushback.
This might be, we say it up to a lot of teams, a lot of nights. This might be one of the best defensive efforts I've seen the skipper commit to so far this year. It's been impressive. Ulof shots deflected. Zitzlaff was there. Anderson now plays up for Newhouse. Now it's Newhouse with it. Try to play over for Streeter, who plays that back in behind. Now Henry is there. Hunter Newhouse bothered on the play. Holt plays that over to the near side for Busby. Looks ahead. That's off the stick of Batchelder through the legs of Miller. Back up through the neutral zone it goes. Holt will turn and send that one back in on goal. Delayed offside of the play. Miller with it. That hit the linesman, but right back on Miller's stick as he's going to carry it. Watched by Burgandy. Miller tucks back in behind the net. Now it's going to be Newhouse, knocked away from him by Casey. Riku Brown, he gets hammered. Stick goes up in the air. Picks that one up, and now it's going to be Casey to play back in behind the net. cut off by Shantz as he's going to play over to the corner for Miller. Quinn was there, Brown as well. Pergandy, glove down. Kiffin, ahead they go to Quinn. He has Harris up the middle, back to Quinn. Ooh, touch passes there. Don't see much of those. That's old school. Brown with it. Turns it back up ice. He's 1-on-2. He's going to just try to create and get it deep. He does. He's waiting for help. John Middlestat off the boards, off the bench. His shot's blocked by Kiffin. He'll look up ice as he'll gain the center red line. Leave off to the left wing side for Quinn. That's off Casey now. To the corner it goes. Quinn muscles in the corner. John Middlestat looks to play ahead to Blake. He'll stay with it, though, does John Middlestat. Harris hammers him. Puck tucked back in. John Middlestat looked like he was shaken up a little bit there, but he shook it off. Now it's Blake with it. Through center to Steves. Steves loves the off wing. The snapper, that one high over the glove. And now it's going to be to the right wing side for Harris. He's going to work this through center. Lagerback is there. Luke Middlestat stands him up. Now on the skates of John Middlestat. Back bin behind the net for Langfells. Up the right wing side for Blake. That's off the skates of Lacombe. Now the stick of Keppers. Try to find Lacombe, but there is Langfells to disrupt that. Over off the far boards, they'll continue to jostle. Steves had it momentarily, but there's the stick of Bear. They come together on the puck to the near boards. Nice physicality there. Steves with it. Zitzloff, Keppers, now Lagerback. Gains the line, then lost the handle. Had to jump back into the neutral zone as the freebie out of the zone now for the Eagles on the touch-up. Luke Middlestat watched by Lacombe over for Langfells. Guides up for Blake. Leaves to the center, but thank you very much, says Lacombe. Streeter across the line. Rister, pad save. Rosenlund was there. Now it's going to be Lagerback. That's up off the netting and out of play.
Eden Prairie just hasn't seemed to find that rhythm, but really responsible play by Minnetonka. And that's a defensive unit of 5 coming together for a common goal. But then Minnetonka has been winning the battles to the loose puck, pushing the puck back up the ice. It was a pretty good offering by Streeter on that one, but ramped up and out of play by Middlestat. Face off to Rosenlund's left. 12:43 left in the second period. Minnetonka up by 2.
93 goals on the season for the Eagles to 77 for the Minnetonka Skippers, and the Skippers came into this game with 2 players in double digits, and the Eagles with 3. One with 24.
Yeah, I was going to say, one's got a little
there's
bit,
your difference.
A little significance.
Holt now to center as that's Miller to play up to Henry looking for the hat trick as he turns away. And now Holt will race this one up the right wing side. He's got Batchelder, and Langenbrunner now flows up in the play. Holt from the corner behind the back. Kiffin plays over to the left wing side, and now it's going to be Henry. He'll gain the center. Fired back in around the glass. Near side for Streeter, who took the purposeful dump in there. Played back into the corner. Now Holt with it. Will sit on it. Long pass ahead. Luloff, nice job to extend and keep that alive. Back in behind the net, Batchelder and Anderson are there. Zitzloff as well. Anderson, Streeter now. Long pass, left wing. Look out! Busby lost an edge there, and here's Quinn. Another number 7, but Busby with a nice recovery.
Absolutely.
Now it's going to be Quinn out of the corner. Dangles through the goal line area there as it's Newhouse back into the corner. Worms is going to race over with Casey. Wraps him up. Now it's pushed up the boards. That's Johnson on it now for the Eagles. Shepard out there as well with Jorgensen. Now Johnson around the wall. Up to Zitzloff. Slapper, pad save. Bounding puck over to the right dot. And back out of the zone they come. Jorgensen tried to find Shepard. Now Johnson gathers in. He'll play it in. Jorgensen loves to forecheck. Here he comes. Ooh, nearly went straight through the glass. Someone lost their coffee. You don't put it on the dasher. Pergandy, I mean, that's hockey 101. But that's the hand signals corner down there. Giving the hand signals.
Oh.
Boy, it's getting muddy off the end boards there.
Riku Brown and Chance must have engaged because I think it was Zitzloff that took exception to it.
Lacombe now across the line for Lagerback. In on goal. That's stopped by Rosenlund. And a delayed penalty came up on that play as well.
Well, I think it's going to be Riku Brown. It might be goaltender interference, but...
Trip.
Oh, trip? Perfect. Well, now Minnetonka gets a really good opportunity to extend their lead. It was a pretty good offering by Lagerbach on goal, but a good save by Rosenlund as Lacombe was waiting in the wings, so nice job by the Prairie goaltender to hang out of that puck. Face off to his right. We have 10:30 left in the second period. Minnetonka up by 2 and on the power play.
Their first one of the game. There's Steves with a high stick, and Kiffin will play it. Will face off by Shantz with 10:20 to go here in the second period.
Well, that's just a natural reaction to try to flag that thing down, and he got some wood on it, but unfortunately the whistle is blown, so it's going to come all the way down to Minnetonka zone. But you see guys like Ben Steves and John Middlestead out there with Luke and Langfels on the point. You still have to mind your defensive responsibilities against Eden Prairie, even though you're on the power play.
Miller now behind the net. Kiffin tries to dangle through some traffic off the boards. Look out. Puck's going to roll. John Middlestead, is he going to get there? No, Shantz will be there first. Ooh.
Another ooh. But it's Lagerback.
Miller takes
Are
over.
you okay over there?
Wow.
Getting all choked up.
I took a cough drop, man.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I bet you've had a couple of those in the last
I've had
month
the
or two.
SARS thing for like, well, you know where I got it, though.
Don't look at me.
Oh, 100%.
Not
you
a chance.
tossed it right
I
over
didn't have any coughing.
No, you didn't. You had the nose from hell. Now it's going to be Miller.
Still do.
Unbelievable. I know. Oh, what a save there by Rosenlund. Steals that one away from Lacombe.
That'll build some confidence.
Oh, that's Steves to take that away from Kiffin. Nice defensive play there. Steves has John Middlestead with him. Tried to guide that ahead, but that was deflected.
Good D by Kiffin.
And Miller with good positioning on John Middlestead to take that loose puck and play it over to the far boards. Langenbrunner back in behind the net. Looks in front, tried to find Batchelder. Gets it back top of the slot. Here comes Holt. Shot and a blocker pad save. Nice job by Shantz. Busby to the corner. Looks for Holt. That misses the mark.
25 seconds left in the penalty.
Lagerback plays that one up. The Eagles shorthanded if you've just logged in and joined us. Lagerback looks over to the near side. Now Conan, shot deflects. That worked its way toward the goal mouth area as Busby comes away with it, finds an opening. 7 to go in the power play. That's going to do it here for the Skippers' first of the game. 8.5 to go in the period as it's Conan up for Streeter. On comes Brown out of the penalty box. Now it's going to be Henry. He's hot tonight with 2. Off the boards for Conan. Check that. Streeter had the other one. My bad. Henry, he's still hot tonight with 1.
You are correct.
Here's the other guy, Streeter. Conan shot that deflects. Holt chops away at that one. Zitzloff shot steered aside there by Rosenlund. He falls down as he was hit by Busby, but still out of the zone comes Holt as he's going to try and race through traffic. But, oh, Holt's going to get a slash there called on Conan. You'll see they came together here. Holt's stick came up. Conan took a little exception and then gave him the old chop. Ooh, right to the back.
Well, that's putting Edenbury behind the 8 ball again. Oh, it's Conan that went to the box. I thought you said it was Holt.
No, Holt drew him in.
Gotcha.
Then he went straight Butcher.
Okay. Well,
Right to
Prairie
the
on
back.
the power play now. 24% against an 82.3 penalty kill for Minnetonka.
Steves for Luke Middlestead. They go far side for John Middlestead. Oh, he tried to dangle, lost the handle. Quinn too quick. And there's Anderson to find it and send it the length of the ice. Now here comes Luke Middlestead out of the zone with 7 minutes and 32 to go in the period. Skippers with a 12-9 shots on goal advantage so far. This is the second power play. The first one for the Eagles, a major that resulted in a shorty by Streeter.
The first shorthanded goal for Minnetonka this year.
Off the boards. Look at Mr. Statistician. Who are you?
Pulled a nugget out.
My word. Kiffin. Did you prep with your Starbucks? Now
No.
Kiffin with it. Shallow angle up off the glass. It's Steves with it now as he looks to play this one ahead, and they're going to take this one outside as the net knocked off its post by a skipper.
Not knocked off by a little bit. It's knocked off by a lot, and I think it was Lagerbach that initiated that one. But, pretty good kill so far. Trying to get proximity. 107 remaining in the penalty to Conan. But Minnetonka gets a face-off just outside the Eden Prairie zone.
Newhouse and Batchelder. Newhouse the draw. Zitzloff comes away with it, gets it deep. And Langenbrunner will take the carom over from the far corner. Now it's going to be Holt through the right side. Burgandy with him. They're going to play it over to nobody there. Burgandy, though, quick feet. Nice job to get over to get that puck. Now Miller, though, gathers. Oh, glove down. Nice play by Busby. Langenbrunner. There's Newhouse. Beautiful read there. Busby, beautiful escape himself. Look at that. Just beautiful out here. Busby off the right wing side as Newhouse plays it to the corner. Zitzlaf cut off by Burgandy. Miller finds an opening. Terrific PK here by the Skippers.
Well,
it's been
indeed.
solid.
And there's 24 seconds in counting, so plenty of time for Eden Prairie to get back and put some pressure on Brandon Chance in goal.
Langenbrunner across the line, stopped on the play by Harris. And there's Rosenlund to set up behind his own net. We're about to be 5-on-5 here as it's going to be Batchelder for Busby. Door is open, and out steps Conan.
Now he comes out.
And out steps Worms as Conan one leg over. Holt. Stansberry now with speed. The slapper wide of the mark. Here's Busby. Guides that back in for Stansberry. He had Johnson with him. And now that's too far. That's going to be Quinn. Back up through center. Langfell's with it. And you see Minnetonka playing like this, they have every reason to say we could be section champions.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if they can sustain this level of play, that's going to be tough for all their opponents. They've been very responsible. Second period line changes being a man down. They've always had fresh legs out during that kill, and that continues.
Johnson was jammed at center, got up and played that one in deep. Oh, the official jammed.
That's an interference to me.
You know what's so funny? He put the hands up, too. He went high. Head contact. It's funny. It's funny when they're the ones in peril, what it looks like. It's absolute chaos. Now John Middlestad with it.
Just shouldn't laugh.
Wow, that's great. Lacombe across the line. Lagerback nearly gathered it in. Blake now looks ahead to Steves as he springs him. Steves across the line with John Middlestad to the net. Shot, save, rebound. John Middlestad bid. Langfells, wrister, knocked down, blocked. They try to play that one through. Collapsing as Zitzlaf. That worked its way in on Chance, knocked away. Langfells, a one-timer. Oh, that one's steered out of there by the blocker pad of Chance. Great opportunities there.
Well, indeed, and it looks like Eden Prairie had kind of understanding that they have to get on their horse and start playing some Eden Prairie Eagle hockey, but I think Minnetonka's played so well defensively. They're winning the battles to the puck, clearing the zone, getting their sticks on in the passing lanes. They're really challenging this Eden Prairie team, but Eden Prairie offensive zone faceoff, just 4:20 left in this second period.
Steves with a shot that's deflected by Streeter. Newhouse comes out of the zone. Skippers aren't waiting around for things. They're making things happen, and they're moving their feet. You know, sometimes you see teams when they're, that one. I don't know if that caught the mask of Rosenlund.
It hit the bucket.
Square. It is ringing like it's never rung before, like he was at a Who concert circa 81 with the Marshall Stacks. Here's John Middlestad.
Wow.
For Blake. Britton plays this one back in behind. That's cut off behind the net by Shantz. Kiffin now. Henry's going to tap the boards. Luke Middlestad will bump for Steves. He'll leave up for John Middlestad as he's going to hurry up the right wing side, but the Skippers keep him wide. Back in behind the net. Cycles behind. Good support there by Blake. Nice read. Blake now up high. Real good on the edges. Burgandy lost the handle. Brings Henry down. Steves comes away with it. Dances off the side of the cage. Lets a shot go. Pushed out of there by the glove by Shantz. Up high in the air and out of play it goes up over the glass with 3:11 to go here in period number 2.
Well, one thing I like about what Minnetonka is doing is when they kind of get into their moments of duress, it seems like they overcommit in the offensive zone, and then the other team comes back with an odd man rush. They're actually matching up numbers through the neutral zone, so Eden Prairie not getting those odd man rushes that they're so used to. So Minnetonka again playing very sound defensively, but kind of some trying moments of late. Eden Prairie starting to find some rhythm here in the closing moments of the second period.
Shot from Langenbrunner blocked. Zitzlaf hops the stick of Quinn. Will it be enough for an icing call? They're going to say no. Big battle to the corner there. Worms comes away with it. Credit Quinn. Now it's Conan. Ooh, missed that one. Turned over. Batchelder tripped up. Penalty coming up. Delayed. Still a 2-on-1. Shoots. Glove. Save and a beauty. Oh, they had the 2-on-1 as Batchelder held it. And that was Shantz who went down and made the save. Conan's going to get the tripping call right there. Is the front end of the penalty, and then you'll see Batchelder hang on. But nice flare of the glove by Shantz, dialed in tonight.
Indeed, that might be a save that we referred to going forward, but it was Conan that got the puck, whiffed on the attempt to put it back, and then it was Eden Prairie that came back, so he had to take the man out. He's going to take a penalty. So just 2:40 left in the second period, but Eden Prairie with a golden opportunity to cut this lead to 1.
Back in behind the net it goes. Lacombe turns away. John Middlestat guides it up to Luke Middlestat. Lagerback jumping into the play now. Back into the corner it goes. They'll play up high for Luke Middlestat. Nope, he's going to give over for Blake. Lets a shot go. That's blocked by Kiffin. John Middlestat's shot blocked. That one by Miller. 2 in a row. The Yaz flying off the Tonka bench.
Miller felt that one too.
Back up to the line now. Middlestat, Blake, one-timer. That one came in. Scores! Riku Brown does the job up high or down low with the screen, gets the rebound, and it's a 2-1 game off the power play goal.
Well, Riku Brown, a big body up front. Very difficult to move in that respect, but it was a good offering by Eden Prairie along the ice glove side, and it was Riku Brown with number 9, first one on the power play. But a big goal and a lift for this Eden Prairie Eagles team. Now it's up to Minnetonka to respond. Minnetonka's got to stay out of the box, beat Wagner.
For Blake on that shot, he had to go down to one knee. And it's just kind of a little bit off. I thought he was going to settle that and do something else with it, but instead he said, I got to push this one through. And Shantz made a nice pad save. Here's Luloff. Here come the Eagles. Back up to Luke Middlestat with it now as he walks the line. Lets it go just wide of the mark. Off the end boards, there's Batchelder's shot that misses the mark. Nice response here by the Eagles after that goal. We'll see how the Skippers do here the final minute and a half of this session. Whoa! Jammed on the play was Conan by Batchelder, who fell backwards, but he stayed on the puck. Nice job by the Skipper defense. Now it's Luke Middlestat with it. Plays over to the right side for Langfells. Rister through traffic. Again knocked away. Zitzloff back up through center ice. Here comes Zitzloff. He gains the line and gets it in deep behind the net. Luke Middlestat watched by Newhouse. Now it's going to be played off to the right wing side by Batchelder. Had to have quit mitts there.
Wow.
Anderson, Newhouse now with 1 minute remaining in the period. Turned over at the line. Look out. Here's Holt. Snapper blocker pad save. Shantz. Steve's lost a mitt there as he's going to go back to the slot to grab it. Up to the right wing side. Keppers has stood up on the play. Oh! Newhouse gets past Langfells, who stepped up 2-on-1. He's got Henry, feeds over. Oh, Langenbrunner got the big boot out in front of that one. Big defensive play there. Langenbrunner penalty coming up on John Middlestat, and we'll see what they do with this one.
Oh, they're calling for a cross check. I thought that was a pretty good play in that respect, but it was Keppers along the end wall. They're having words with Middlestat, but I thought it was a pretty good play, but the referee in close proximity. 32.5 now Minnetonka on the power play. It was a nice offering by Hunter Newhouse. He tried to get that puck over, but it was a good job by Langenbrunner to thwart that effort, but subsequently Eden Prairie takes a penalty after that.
They were coming in pretty hot on that one, Bart, and they ran out of real estate as he slid that one over.
Yeah, but good positioning by Langenbrunner on that one. Took away the pass.
Lacombe to take the draw in against Blake. Clean win back to Kiffin. Rister in on goal. There's Rosenlund to make the save.
Well, Minnetonka had 2 players down. Lacombe and Keppers down. Langenbrunner, the only defenseman to mind their business. So Rosenlund did a nice job of making that save and hanging on to it. 1:54 left in the penalty. Just 26.3 left in the period.
Blake pulled off the ice. Holt. They didn't wait for him. He's not even close to the bench
He was
yet.
at the red line.
What in the world? Now it's going to be Miller. Kiffin. That goes all the way up. Oh, there's a Suvi for the high schoolers back in behind.
That went up over even that net. But I thought Kiffin did a nice job on that one to just get the puck toward the goal. All his options were taken away as Eden Prairie. Good positioning on that PK, but a busy stick by Holt to ramp that one up. So faceoff is going to be to Rosenlund's right. Shots on goal, 15 for Minnetonka, 16 for Eden Prairie.
Big draw here. Holt and Lacombe, as Lacombe's been precision in the face-off circle. Miller looks over to the right side for Lacombe. That's blocked by Batchelder. Felt that one. Holt's going to carry this one up ice with 1 second to go. The quick slapper. Well, that thing was like a knuckle puck. We're going straight Mighty Ducks.
Well, I'm a little worried about Batchelder. He took that one, I think, on the forearm, and there's a lot of exposed areas on that. Hopefully he's going to be available for this third period, but 2-1 is where we're going into the second intermission. Eden Prairie showing some life toward the end of that period, but Minnetonka has the benefit of being on the power play to start the third, up by a goal for 1 minute and 28 seconds, barring another penalty. But it's been a terrifically fun game. Great pace,
really good.
Sound defensively. A little bit more offense during that period, but I look for the third period to be lights out. Don't go away.
I like to call it a high-end hockey game. Coming up next Saturday at 9:15 a.m. from the Prairie rink in St. Paul. Our crews are going to be there to capture the DYNAMITES game against the Detroit Ice something or others. I can't remember, but it's a team that's coming in from Detroit. The DYNAMITES are a great organization, and Minnetonka resident Scott Harmon, obviously a part of that, and we're going to take a look at them between periods and much more as we continue. High school hockey continues at the mnhockey.tv.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. DYNAMITES, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. We have a very high retention rate. DYNAMITES high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that DYNAMITES is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. You might say to the kids, like, we're gonna do some hard things today. And we want you to remember, we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing, and you got heads down and panting, and remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe, do not fear.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, the difference maker is just the, you know, the personal interest level we take, where it's just more than a job. We really feel, you know, passion for serving the clients and really taking care of them. I think the loan officer group we have, you know, it's not about the money, it's about the satisfaction when you're sitting at the closing table with the clients and you've done a good job for them and they're happy, and you know, you see the joy that you bring their families. Helping be a guide for someone when they're going through what quite typically is the largest single investment, you know, someone's going to make in their life, their home. For that trust they place in us, it's really satisfying to, you know, be able to provide that service. And I think that there's a little bit of a oversimplification of what the mortgage process is really all about, and certainly, you know, the ability to close a transaction quickly and with the least amount of brain damage involved, I can appreciate, but there's a tremendous amount of thought that needs to go into the selection of the product itself, and then to be able to sit down with a experienced professional is extremely important to make sure you're making the right choice. And once, you know, we've come to that conclusion that this does make sense and the customer does want to move forward, certainly being able to fast track it and use all the technology available to get to the closing table as fast and as efficiently as possible.
Boy, how amateurish was that of me to put those heads. I thought I had the volume down.
Crunch.
Welcome back, everybody. Crunch. Here we go. Between periods 2 and 3, Eagles change a little bit of the tone of the game with that power play goal. Scored by Riku Brown. How the Skippers come out here, they just don't get away from what they were doing, and they're going to be just fine.
Well, and they get the benefit of starting this period 1 minute and 28 seconds on the power play, but Eden Prairie started to find their stride. That goal was on the power play, and as you said, it was Riku Brown with number 9, but he's a very difficult body to move in front of the net, so very difficult for the Minnetonka defenseman to really take him out of that play, but it was originated by Blake. So just to give you a quick update on the scoring so far, first period it was Streeter with his 5th from Newhouse. That was a shorthanded, Minnetonka's first shorthanded goal of the season. Then it was Henry that scored his 7th from Jack Anderson. That was at the 145 mark, and then it was Riku Brown from Blake, and I believe it was John Middlestad on the power play in that second period. That's where we are. Shots on goal, 10 apiece for both teams, 16 for Eden Prairie total and 15 for Minnetonka total. One thing that I want to kind of watch out for is Minnetonka's been very responsible, not overcommitting in the offensive zone. They've coming back and balanced out the numbers through. If they can continue to do that, that's going to give them a greater chance for success tonight.
And I really appreciate how they've moved their feet here tonight so far. They haven't been waiting for things to happen. They've been making things happen.
I like
closing
their zone
on
exits.
pucks.
I like their zone exits. They've been pristine tonight, as good as we've seen all year.
Pristine. Henry, love it. That one's knocked away from Luke Middlestead. They have been. They've been really crisp.
That has to continue.
Conan, Zitzloff loads it up. Blocker pad stopped by Rosenlund. His club loved it. Now Newhouse behind the net. Nice stick down there by Langfels to knock that away. Streeter up for Zitzloff. Now Conan for Zitzloff. It's off the toe of his stick as little wrestling match there with Holt as that's played back up through center ice.
Well, Holt very effective. He actually won that physical battle, cleared the puck down, killed some clock. 35 seconds left in the penalty to John Middlestad.
This is the last home game we'll do here from the Pagel Activity Center this year. Kind of get melancholy a little bit.
Get a little emotional.
Bummed out. But we'll have them against Edina at Braemar Arena to close it out next week.
That'll be awesome.
We'll have the Eagles twice at Benilde St. Margaret's. And then, by the way, that's on Tuesday. And then don't forget, the Red Knights have the absolute battle, the crosstown rivalry with a very good St. Louis Park team on Thursday. And then Eden Prairie will be in action against Wayzata on, is it Wayzata? On Saturday afternoon.
I believe it is. But that Oriole team's going to give Benilde St. Margaret's all they can handle.
It's going to be fun to watch. Miller with it. Rister. Blake. Eagles now at full strength as Blake looks ahead. John Middlestat with it as he's going to walk across the line. Middlestat low, watched by Kiffin. Steve's in to help out. Try to play that one off the side of the net. Lacombe comes away with it to the right wing side. Now it's going to be Keppers with it. Stick lift by Blake as he came in from behind, a la Neil Broughton circa 1981. Steve's with it. Now it's going to be Middlestat, loads it up. That's deflected off Kiffin as it bounds in on goal, and that's stopped by Shantz.
Well, really nice contest by Teddy Lagerbach on John Middlestat. And when you can get your captains given that kind of effort, it bleeds through the rest of the group. But it's a good job by Brandon Shantz to hang on to that puck because there was, I believe it was Holt, not Holt, but Blake waiting in the wing. So
one of those guys.
Yeah. Eden Prairie Eagle. Let's just be general.
I couldn't help you out. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't help at all.
I would if I could. That's what I'm saying. Luke Middlestad with it. Britton. Deflected by Luloff back in. Off the side of the net. Knocked away by Shantz. Pergandy fights this one from the corner to Luke Middlestad. Rister through traffic. That's off Harris. Now it's going to be Anderson off the boards. Luloff comes away. Ooh, that's up high off the gobbler of Shantz as he hangs on to that one.
You know, that Harris block was a pretty big block, and that was off the stick of Middlestat. But I don't think Shantz was in a good position. I don't think he saw that puck. So if Harris didn't make that stop, that might have been a goal. So nice job by the Minnetonka forward. If you're going to block the sidelines, your goaltender, pay particular attention to stop that puck as he did. I'd like to say hello to Corey Vehement family for tuning in and watching.
Stole it.
I did. I jumped the route on that one.
You
for tuning in. Always appreciate it when you're with us, CB.
You went Richard Sherman on me with the flowing locks. Casey plays that one wide. Pergandy. Now Newhouse. Ooh. Right through the stick of Pergandy, off the stick of Henry, and up out of play it goes off the netting.
Well, Hunter Newhouse has a wealth of ability, but sometimes that can be to your detriment where you try to force the puck. He got a little fortunate, but that young man plays with a lot of confidence. A vital member to this Minnetonka Skippers team. It's going to come all the way down to Shantz's left.
I don't know what dad is below me, but he's got some of the best puck flips I've ever seen out of the box. They've got some rotation on them. It's nice. You can see the National Federation of High Schools logo spinning right into the, right about chest area. That's what I tell my my catchers. I want that ball flipped. I catch it with my right hand, right to the right nipple. I want it right there. If you can't get some arc on it where it drops there, you're out.
Pete stops practice. Okay,
yep, we practice that. I want it seamless.
Boy, you're tough.
Oh, really
You're
tough.
a player's coach, but you're tough.
Uh-huh.
But now another offensive zone faceoff for the Eden Prairie Eagles. It's going to be Drew Holt. Apparently, it's going to be Riku Brown on the faceoff. But this is a nice line for Eden Prairie against the Newhouse line. So two very formidable lines going at it.
Brown, the draw redirect on the way through. The shot from Holt. Brown and Batchelder both each got a stick on that one. Miller fights it up the boards. Now it's going to be Holt from behind the net. Watched by Kiffin. Holt now plays this behind for Batchelder. Away as a man in front. Brown loads up. That one didn't get through. I think the stick of Henry deflected that one away.
It's a big stick.
Now it's going to be Miller. Henry across the line to Miller. Loads it up. Shoots off the post. Oh, that thing rang it hard, and it carried him over to the far side. Now it's going to be Batchelder to Holt at center ice. He sends that one in. Wide of the mark. Kiffin comes away with it as he protects the puck as he's ridden off the play by Brown. Now Kiffin, though, really sturdy on the biscuit. Off the boards for Streeter. Waiting for Lagerback, but Brown takes over. Batchelder opens up at center. Ooh, jumping the route is Coated. Now he's going to be cut off. Blake now feeds Batchelder, left wing side, drop pass. That one's knocked away there. Batchelder back in behind. They've got Steves who wanted it. Steves will take over back in behind. Shove that one through the slot area. Now it's going to be picked back up high to the point for Busby. Busby looks and waits for players to open up. John Middlestat sends that one through. Blake will send a wrister. That's deflected away off the stick of Zitzloff. Now John Middlestat cuts it off behind the net. Zitzloff bothers him. Now he'll play this one, held up a little bit behind the net. John Middlestat battles along the way. Lagerback off the boards, finds an opening. Will that work its way in on goal? No, it won't. And icing will be the call. Nice shift for the Eagles there with 12:38 to go here in the third. Score still reads 2-1 in favor of the Skippers.
Yeah, Eden Prairie again finding a lot of energy, but they were on that puck in a hurry, and I think Minnetonka didn't get worn down, but they were standing around a little bit. Finally, Lagerbach took matters into his own hands and just sent that puck down the ice, relieve a little pressure, allow Minnetonka to do a bit of a reset, but it's going to be Lacombe against Pregande in the faceoff dot.
Lacombe the draw, knocked behind the net. That's Bear for Keppers for Lacombe. Now it's going to be Lagerback, gets away from one man. Ooh, he's trying to get to a shooting angle, lost the handle, and it's going to be Langfels. Touch pass from Stansberry to Langfels. He's going to be pickpocketed by Lagerback across the line, wanted to load it up. Now it's going to be Lacombe. He'll shoot it. That one high off the glass. They're going high here tonight a lot. Anderson plays back into the corner, challenging the mitts of Axel Rosenlund. Now Lacombe looks in front. Oh, Lagerback had to reach back behind. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestat. Try to play that one to Langfels as he does. Stansberry off the boards. Pregande takes it in stride with Luloff 2-on-3. Here's Pregande along the goal line. Takes it right to the can. Nice pad save. Holt, a shot. Big save made there. Oh, the right pillow flares with authority by Shantz. Now it's going to be Quinn. And oh, hit by Luloff. But you know what? It looked good. But who got the puck? The Eagles. Sent back to center. Oh, this is awesome. Played rink wide. Kiffin takes that one from Bear. Off the stick of Worms. No, he didn't get it. Icing the calls. We'll bring it back into Minnetonka turf.
Well, Kiffin's even talking to the referee about it, but it was the linesman that made that call. I thought it chipped off Worms' stick, but it is going to come all the way back. But you're right, this has been fabulous, fabulous game. But Minnetonka taking a lot of high shots, as you said, on Roseland, but a lot of them missed the net and rung around the board. So it's almost better to take a shot and let the goaltender try to make a save than
right
it is to send
the
one.
Legs. Get the pad save
rebound.
Get it on
goal. Just
pad
get it on goal.
Use the pad as another player.
I like it.
Off the boards, Miller looks ahead for Henry. He's working through the stick. Yeah, they got that one. Yeah, the stick was going straight Ginsu, just shredding
Well, I don't think he meant to do that.
No, not at all.
But it's going to be Steves that's going to go. He's not a malicious player, but that stick did get up. So really good opportunity now for Minnetonka to build on that lead. 11:15 to go in this third period. Been a 50-50 period so far, but Minnetonka gets a distinct advantage for the next 2 minutes, barring another penalty.
11:15 to go in the third period.
Got the 2 goal scorers out there for Minnetonka.
You talked about power plays for Eden Prairie, that if you're Minnetonka, you want to stay out of the box. But, I mean, the same can be true for the Eagles.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really all about this time. You get, doesn't matter what level you're at, it's this stuff right here that can be backbreaking.
Yeah, Minnetonka's power play is elite.
Conan, Zitzloff, backdoor for Newhouse.
I use the word elite, Pete.
Yeah, I can't deny it.
Skippers are rowing
Blake.
the boat, right?
John Middlestat. Ooh, he came up high on
Yeah,
him.
he did.
Zitzloff jams. Blake got shivered. Now it's Streeter. Very physical play here. Streeter to the corner. Luke Middlestat. Now it's going to be Langenbrunner to guide it up high. Zitzloff gets jammed by Blake. You always got to watch for a guy who feels like he's been wronged. There's a shot blocker pad. Back all the way. Oh, look at that. That's a crazy rebound. We'd call that the Pez dispenser.
Right back to him. Second chance.
Now it's Conan. Newhouse. Miller. No, says Batchelder. It's Miller backpedals. Smooth skater. Off to the right wing side for Keppers. Now it's Lacombe across the line. He's going to be turned away. Now Lagerback comes away with it. His pass was deflected. Now it's Holt. Back up through center as he angles to the left. Holt's going to load it up. Lets a shot go in on goal. That's his face-off that the Eagles want in the offensive zone with 40 to go on the power play for the Minnetonka Skippers. 9:55 to go in the third. 2-1 in favor of Minnetonka.
Well, Holt did a nice job of maintaining possession, actually putting an offering toward Brandon Chance. Just 40 seconds left in the penalty to Eden Prairie Steves, but an offensive zone face-off for this Eagles team. They can burn some more time if they can win it.
Face-off by Lacombe, pulls back behind the net. It's going to be Miller with it. He waits for everything to set up, gives off to the right wing side. Now Lacombe gains the line. Turned away. Lagerback lays that one up for Kiffin. Shovels back over for Miller. Back for Kiffin. Off his stick, knocked into the corner. Lacombe is there. He had Lagerback moving. Miller rips one in on goal. Saving a rebound. Oh, here comes Holt. We're piling up in front. Oh, Rosalind has the mask knocked off, and it's getting ugly down low.
Well, part of high school hockey is maintaining your emotional discipline. But it was Lagerbach that tried to actually push Rosalind over that goal line. So Eden Prairie obviously taking exception to that.
Chance wanted to go Mike Smith from the Edmonton Oilers with Talbot as he came all the way up to center ice. I looked back at Kiffin and Miller, and they said, get out of here.
He made the right decision to go back to his crease. He's not going to do any good down there. Lagerbach giving the linesman an earful all the way back.
The linesman can't even tell him whether the penalty is. He's the wrong guy. He should be talking to the Orangies.
Well, he just wants to get that out of his system, I'm sure, a little bit. But Lagerbach
the
in
notebook
the box.
came out. Here we go.
Lagerbach in the box.
Well, Holt's going to go. We know that because he started it with the pile in.
And Steves is back in 12 seconds. Boy, all kinds of havoc breaking loose. But Rosalind didn't like that scenario. Can't blame him for that. But
Lee Smith is already looking for an explanation.
Oh, I'm sure the goalie.
He's got like,
will be
so
too.
you know, a veteran coach like he is. He's got like 20 guys out on the ice right now, so he can figure out what his personnel is going to be.
It's smart.
He's only got 5 guys out there, but. Okay, now they're going to come down and talk to the Eagles. We've got one door open for the Skippers. We've got a group hug here at center ice outside the arc. So Lacombe is in. They're not going to take Holt. I thought for sure they'd take him.
Well, at least the Eden Prairie door is indeed opening. Looks like it's Jorgensen that's going to serve this.
But they're taking the goalie.
Okay. Yeah, he got a little.
He got a little.
Emotional.
Little Billy Smith,
right.
Ron Hextall like there. For you young kids at home, Google that. You'll know what I'm talking about. Mike Vernon and Patty Waugh.
Oh, goodness.
Remember that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's something else. Those were the days. Now if you sneeze on someone in the show, you're going. It's become the NBA.
Yeah.
You scratch them, you're done.
Yeah. Don't pick that scab, P. Wagner. But no penalties on the, well, there is a penalty on the board for Minnetonka, so it might be 4-on-4 for another 12 seconds, and then it's going to be Steves that's going to come out, so hate to speculate in this situation.
So Lagerback went for a rough, Lacombe went, and Rosenlund went. So 2 skippers and 1 Eagle.
And Steves gets back if they start the clock. There we go.
4-on-4. John Middlestat shot. A nice save by Shantz. Boy, has he been on his game tonight.
He's had to be.
Luke Middlestat's shot deflects over the top of the goal now. Power play is on for the Eagles. It'll be 2-minute variety. John Middlestat across the line. Steves a wrist shot that's blocked by Zitzloff, but Steves stays on the puck. He'll play it out of the corner. John Middlestat rips one through, kept it low, deflected wide of the mark. Blake will take the carom out of the corner as he finds some room. There's a short side look. That stopped by Shantz.
Well, that was a good stop by Shantz. He seems to be very focused, but it's Riku Brown in front of the net, and I think Conan's probably one of the only players that can match up with him size-wise and try to take him out of it. But another good save by Shantz. Face off to his right. Down to 129 in the penalty to Minnetonka. Eden Prairie still in the power play.
Kiffin for Quinn as he's got Harris racing up ice. He'll cut across. Graham Harris from the corner. Now it's going to be picked up by Blake as he works the zone over for John Middlestat. That's off one skate, and then that hit Brown. Blake back over for Luke Middlestat. He's going to leave off for Blake at center right across the M. Hard pass over for Steves as he's going to play this around hard. Just wanted to get it away from the skippers. Nice job by John Middlestat to corral, but that one's ripped down the ice there by Miller, and he's going to head to the bench along with his mates as they go wholesale on the PK.
And 4 forwards for Eden Prairie, only 1 defenseman.
Luke Middlestat's going to leave off for Jackson Blake. Left wing for Steves as he's spun off the puck. Nice play by Henry. Now Luke Middlestat better hurry. Henry's moving his feet. Look at that battle by 1-6. Henry getting the job done. Plays it back in behind the net. That's championship hockey right there.
Leaving people in his wake.
Good one. Got me to cough. It's not hard to do. Steves plays it to the right wing side for John Middlestat. So sick of coughing. Oh, he goes inside out. I'll wear a mask next time. Maybe I'll put a condom on your microphone too.
Oh.
Protect that thing. There's a blocker pad that goes up off the glass.
Wow. I'm going to cough now.
Oh, it's Langenbrunner. Who cares? Langenbrunner now. We're 5-on-5. One-timer that deflects up off the netting and out of play.
Boy, that was a nice sequence. I think it went into Blake and then back to Steves, and he unloaded, but a good busy stick by Minnetonka wraps it up and out of play. Otherwise, a point-blank offering by this Eden Prairie team. We're getting down to 7:13 left. Shots on goal now, Eden Prairie 24. Minnetonka at 17. Minnetonka only 2 shots this period, but killing penalties are being pretty effective.
Kiffin, Luloff on the forecheck. It's Lacombe from the left wing side. Off the stick of Keppers, wide of the mark it goes. Busby works his way back through. Ooh, Holt nearly had that, but Kiffin made the read. Ooh, Rosenlund had to be Johnny on the spot there. That thing came in out of nowhere. Now it's Batchelder. He'll wind it up. Try to lay that one ahead, but there's Lacombe to break that one up. Langenbrunner plays up for Holt. Nice feed on the move to Batchelder. Luloff at the line. Check that. Langenbrunner steps up in the play. Luloff found him, but there's Miller to, again, just harmlessly chip that into Eagle territory. 6:29 to go here in the period. And 2-1 the score.
Well, one thing I'm a little concerned about with Minnetonka is they're not used to, at least tonight, just turning the puck and flipping it down the ice and relieving some pressure before they had the patience to hang on to it. But again, trying moments, you have to do what you can to get through the situation. But I look for Minnetonka to show a little bit more patience and poise with the puck in the waning moments of the third period, even with a 1-goal lead.
Pergandy wins the draw. Stansberry behind the net. It'll be Bear to race this one. Streeter comes over from the right wing to bump back in behind Anderson for Bear. Knocked off his stick by Johnson. Now it's going to be played off the boards to center. There's Henry. Good body position there. Casey lost his balance. Now it's Newhouse to Streeter. Blocked on the way in. That by Langfels. Newhouse tries to position. They poke that one into the corner. Bear was there. Langfels now. Over to the near side. Cut off by Henry. Back behind for Newhouse. Turns away. That's in on goal and covered up by Rosenlund.
Boy, nice job by Casey to hang with Hunter Newhouse on that one. Hunter Newhouse is a magician with the puck in tight corners, but he hung with him and allowed Rosenlund to cover that puck. But really, that's what Minnetonka has to do. Gain the red, get the puck deep, and force Eden Prairie to come the full 200 feet, but contest them along the way. That was a good, productive shift by this Minnetonka Skippers team. Just under 6 minutes to go in regulation time.
5 minutes and 54 seconds to show on the clock. It's indeed 2-1 Minnetonka. It's been a terrific hockey game here. Well played. Rosenlund, nice save there. In came the Skippers, but that was covered up.
Well, that was
face off to his left.
That was a pretty good win by Lacombe, but it was Keppers that actually stepped into that one, really cut off the Eden Prairie defenders, put an offering toward Rosenlund.
Lagerback for Kiffin. Rister, that's blocked away there. Nice play by John Middlestat. Blake in transition across the line. Looks for Middlestat. Oh, nice feed. Look out, Steves. Shot. The save made by Shantz once again as he stayed square on that one. Great transitional opportunity by the Eagles. Knocked off Blake's stick, but he stays with it. Gets away from traffic. He's solid out of the phone booth. Here he is now. Looks to play this one back up to the near side. Stays on it. That was off the gear of Lagerback, who stayed with that one too. Rink wide it goes for Steves. Kiffin watches him. Deflects off the stick, up off the net, off the glass. Now it's going to be Blake to the corner. Try to find someone through the slot, but there's good positioning by these Skippers, really taking away any opportunities there. Miller, long pass ahead. That did not get the stick of Keppers and icing the call. Again, nice passive forecheck, trapping like by the Eagles, creating problems on the Skipper breakout.
Well, the Eden Prairie Eagles understand what the situation is. They're going to come with everything that they have, but I like the poise on that one by Miller. He burned a couple seconds off the clock. Obviously a misfire on that pass. Now they just have to win that faceoff, but he burned some valuable time off the clock.
25-19, your shots on goal in favor of the Eagles late here in the third period with 4:50 to go in it. Across the line, that's Worms who stood up on the play. There's a rolling puck, backdoor opportunity. Oh, that one perilously close there. Rolling puck towards Shantz, who's going to hammer that to center. Worms, pass picked off by Holt. Holt tried to dangle through the traffic, but Worms makes a play over to the right side for Harris. Quinn straddles, pulls a hammy in the process. Now it's going to be Holt with it. Across the line, chopped at there by Harris on the way through. Worms lays that one up to center. Quinn over to the near side. Luloff off the bench. They shoulder. Nice physical battle there in front of the penalty box area. Gathering it in, it's going to be Batchelder. Off the stick, or skates rather, of Quinn. Now Langenbrunner will regroup and play up the right wing side for Holt. Holt flips that one high off the banner. And that stops the clock with even 4 minutes left. 13 minutes played here in this third period.
And that one went off the Section 6AA banner in 2006. I can actually see it.
It's still shaking too.
It's still rocking. But I think what Minnetonka has to do, instead of losing the puck at the blue and allowing Eden Prairie to come back in transition, just get the puck deep and then set up defensively.
Anderson, ridden by Pergandy, but they're going to break out of the zone clean. It's Henry with it. Tries to go through, stood up by Langfels as Luke Middlestad will take over. Rings over for Luloff. That's deflected away. One-timer by Henry misses the mark, deflected by an Eagle stick. Anderson from center. That's off Luloff. Now Streeter takes the carom and sends that back into the near corner. Langfels up for Stansberry. Streeter over for Kiffin. From center, slings that in deep. Cut off by Rosenlund. Langfels is there. 3:20 to go in the third. Langfels again. Luke Middlestad was there. Oh, it's on the stick of Newhouse. That pass was deflected off the skates of Langfels. Back in behind. Lagerback, too far for him. Now it's Newhouse with it. They look for Lagerback back in behind the net. He protects the puck and spins away from John Middlestad. That's going to be handled now by Newhouse. And back up ice is John Middlestat with it. Lays over for Luloff. Steered out of there by Shantz. Now it's going to be Newhouse. Miller. Off the right wing side. That's going to be handled and played behind the net. Lacombe. Lagerback, bothered by Langenbrunner. Blake. On the stick for Langenbrunner again across the line as he protects. Carries this one down the line as he's stood up by Conan. 2:23 to go in the period. Worms. Back up for Lagerback. He's got 3 Eagles around him. He's spun off the puck, goes down on the play. Lacombe knocked off his stick and steps Busby. Denied the line by Conan with a big physical play. Here comes Blake with Steves and Batchelder. Oh, Batchelder surprised by that quick pass by Steves. Back up to Steves, right circle. Wrister deflected. Nice save. Shantz stayed calm on that Blake redirect.
You're correct.
Blake now stayed on it, but there's Worms with a good play. Here comes Kiffin back up ice. We get to the keep our eye on the goaltender time of the game now with $1:45 to go in the period. Langfell's up ice. Langfell's with it. Now he gets to Luke Middlestat. Batchelder takes over. Back over for Luke. He looks ahead. That's
time for a timeout, huh, Pete Wagner?
Yes. Perfect time.
Todd Groves getting a shot of all the fans. Had very good representation from both teams here. Even the walkways littered with the masses and high school enthusiasts.
15 to go, 3-1. We're going to buzz out and say so long quickly. So there you go, and icing will be the call with 9.2 seconds left.
Of course. Another whistle. You're going to call another timeout.